Hello and welcome back to Reaction Friday. Yes, Reaction Friday. I don't know how we've kept it up, but it's the third week going. Third time is the charm. This video might give me a little trouble. I might raise a few eyebrows, but it wouldn't be Reaction Friday without a little bit of controversy. We're going to watch my experience as a single man in church. Oh, this is going to be one for the history books. So let's see what this gentleman has to say.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Another kind of rant video as I'm driving to work.
I'm sorry. Okay, we got a brother from the land down under. I'm sorry, a brother from the land down under. Sorry. So I do love me a good Aussie. So let's. I'm gonna try very hard, minimal interruptions. I typically watch the whole video through and then I say my thoughts.
And I'm just been pondering lately where the churches are not designed for single men. And I've just been reflecting on my journey as a Christian, and it's coming up to 5 years, which is crazy. So I got baptized middle of April 2021. So yeah, it's been a wild journey. But this whole time, I've never become like I've never become friends with other single Christian men that are like I get along with, and all my friends are married, got kids now. Very few, like literally none, are single, and it makes me really think that the church, there's a big gap there for single men. So for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe it's just my church. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts, but yeah, I'm not trying to sound judgmental or anything, but just like the single guys I have met across my path are just not, we just don't have the same interests. Maybe we don't come from the same background kind of thing. It's very hard for me to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, like resonate or with someone who's kind of grown up in the church all their life kind of thing, because I guess because my background has been so different and so wild, they probably don't understand the things that I've gone through, right? And
Okay, so just some initial thoughts. I think this is a at least a Western world, definitely within the Anglosphere, but I think within the Western world, shout out to my Polish people. You're in the Western world too. I'll include them, but yeah, like United States, Canada, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Australia, New Zealand. I think all these Western nations, at least I'm guessing you go to like a non-denominational, one of these hoopty doopty kind of, I don't know, churches, because as somebody who also is involved in a church and goes to church and is a single guy in this whoopty doopty world too, I completely get it. I completely understand. I think that, yeah, I know people that are married. Yeah, it's as if you get married and then you just get shipped off to a different land, man. I don't know what's good with marriage, but it sends you into a different stratosphere where, yeah, it is hard to relate to people. And I don't think I don't think the church as we the church as we experience it now in the Western world really thought about single people. I don't think they thought, oh, like there's going to be a time where there's just going to be a bunch of dudes just, chilling, playing Call of Duty, not married. I don't think they ever envisioned that. I think they always envisioned some kind of pathway, but as this individual, because I see the same exact thing happening in the United States. So don't just say you are not alone in this.
whenever I go to church, it's very, all the events are very family oriented. Um, there's definitely a lack of um, discipleship for young men. Um, because I want to talk about the hard topics, like no one really sat me down and talked to me about the battle with lust and the battle with, you know, the balance between putting God first and trying to be successful in this world. Like I think, yeah, I think there's just a big lack there. And I guess the reason that I made this channel was ultimately so I could connect with more like-minded men who are similar age and going through their same struggles. So I don't know exactly how that looks or how that's going to progress, but it would be really good to connect with more young men who are on the straight and narrow path, because honestly, there's so few of us, it's ridiculous. You know, whenever I do come across, you know, guys my age, you know, not Christian, whatever, like I mean, it's just so ridiculous, eh? Like they all vape, they all drink every weekend, they're still chasing women, like they're all still doing that childish stuff you did when you're 18, you know. As much as I definitely, you know, of course I want to get married at some point, no doubt, but that's always been like something I've been like asking God, like, okay, well, I'm happy to be in this single period, but can I at least have some single friends that we can like support each other and pray and do Bible studies and do outreach together, you know? Because like I'm always keen to do outreach, but I'm like not quite there to go out by myself, you know? Like I need a bit of like a support group, if that makes sense.
Okay, so he said a lot of interesting things, and I think that I think this is deeper than a church problem. I think we're kind of seeing the end of Western individualism. Like I think with the amount of single men, I can't, you know, I don't know what's good with the girls. I don't know what gal are up to, so I'm not gonna comment on what women are doing because I just legit don't know. But at least from my experience and just, you know, being a single guy myself, I don't just see this in church. I think this is just a Western world problem. You can be Christian, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, atheist, agnostic. I think the problems you said about, oh, like, you know, men just want to drink and smoke and this, or just want to do childish things, as you call them. I think that's deeper than just within the church. I think that after school, there really is no structure. Like there isn't really any community centers, at least within the United States. But I'm guessing Australia is very similar too, where there really isn't any community structures. There really isn't any kind of hierarchy. You don't really join, like, there isn't this sense of brotherhood, for lack of a better word. And I think that's what you're experiencing too. Because yeah, even at my church, or the church, you know, the church I'm involved with, if I wanted to like go and join all these men, I'm actually better off getting a visa to China or something. Like I'm better off becoming a dual citizen or trying to get into Harvard than I am trying to navigate the process of doing all the like Bible study, this and that. I think also as Christians, I think I don't hear this enough within Christian community because I don't really talk about my faith, because some Christians would consider me a Christian. People would say I'm heretical. Some people would say I'm agnostic. But you know what? Hey, man, I'm just trying to have some KFC discounted chicken. You know, that's really all I'm trying to do. But I think a thing with Christians is it's like, I think at some point we as men, I don't know, you know, I also need to find some man friends too, but you should sit together and just have male spaces independent of if you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a Hindu, a Buddhist, an agnostic, and an atheist, a Cowboys fan. Like, you know, I think we should start having just male-centric spaces. And obviously, yes, co-ed spaces too. But I think in order before, like, you have co-ed spaces, because it's not like I'm trying to, oh, well, we need to just build a man society. No, it's like, we should just have social places where, like, men could get together. Because women are better at this. Women are better at, like, socializing and looking out for each other. But, yeah, I'm having male spaces. And then having, yeah, like, co-ed spaces, too. But sadly, I think we're in this period of time where I think nowadays we're going to kind of go through this, like, loneliness. I almost want to call it a plague. But there's going to be, like, this epidemic, whatever you want to, this period where, you know, you're going to, like, you're economically, you seem like middle class individual where you pay your bills, you seem like you have a decent car, doesn't look like things are falling apart. I don't know. Doesn't look like a Nissan Altima. Because, anybody with a Nissan Altima, just stay away. But yeah, you seem like a well-adjusted individual. But yeah, it's like I think at some point we should look at the society we're in and say, like, what in the world?
And it's just so hard to tee up time with people who are married and got kids, like they're always busy. They've got obligations with the children or with the in-laws or whatever's going on, right? Being single is very fortunate we do have more time to do things, but I'm just trying to figure out like how that looks. I'm trying to. I'm not at the moment not putting time to the best of my ability, right? Like I'm mostly just working, training, and then doing any kind of watching Christian material and things like that. But yeah, I really want to know if other men, especially in other countries, are going through the same thing. So, because I don't know, I just feel like this is a topic that's not really talked about. Like the churches don't really preach messages helping young men. They kind of shy away from these topics. So yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts, guys. Please drop it in the comments. And yeah, let me know where you guys are from as well. I thought it'd be quite interesting to know where you're from and kind of the challenges you're facing. But I guess it's why there's been so many times of just kind of being very disinterested in church because of just these kind of things, And thankfully I do have a good like Bible study group that I go to at church. But I know for me, there's still like a gap that needs to be filled in my point of view.
Okay, I think that's the end of the video. At least I think he's going to go into other things, but I think I got the main gist. No, I am in the United States, like, within Texas. I'm, the Lone Star State. Everything you described is happening here too. Like, this is a worldwide phenomenon within the Western world. And I completely agree. I'm a guy in his mid-20s. I'm guessing you're in your 30s. You look like you're in your 30s. Maybe early to mid. Yeah, definitely like mid-30s. You look like a guy in his mid-30s. And yeah, no, this is happening all across the world where, men are kind of just directionless. And I don't think the solutions that the church, like, they don't really address it. Like, they don't, like, yeah, I go to church on Sunday. The pastor talks about his wife and his kids. He doesn't talk about, like the things that go on with young adults or men, really. He'll say some vague thing and, so I completely get it. I completely get, like, questioning, should I even go to this church thing if it doesn't really fit my interest or it doesn't really address my needs? And I'm not here to give advice. I don't know you personally. I don't even know the name of your channel, my brother. Like, I gotta edit this and then tag you and do all that. But, for me personally, I started to also question and I started looking elsewhere. I started looking into other groups, like into other faith groups, into other interest groups, into other, and then philosophy, psychology. I started to just branch out because I realized that, hey, man, at the end of the day, we got to do what's in our own best interest. And, if a certain group isn't fulfilling something I want, I just told myself I should go look out for people who, fulfill my social needs. And so I explore, this channel helps. Talking to phone calls with my friends from college help. But also just going to meetup, like young adult meetups. I don't know if your city, it looks like you're in a very populated area that looks like a public transportation. So I'm guessing in Australia, wherever you are at, that they have hopefully, young adult meetups. But I would just say that, yeah, you may not find it in the church. And it's not a knock on church. My parents are Christian. My whole family's Christian. I'm Christian adjacent. I'm Christian. I'm involved in Christianity. But it's like at some point it's not, but Christianity's not everything. At least for me it isn't. There are other things that I believe in, there are other things I'm exploring, and there are other things I'm figuring out. And I really wish you best of luck on your journey, because yes, it's great to have online support, but I really hope and pray and really wish that you also get in person, like just single men, like single male support, where you have a men's group and you can build that up. And then, yeah, from that, it just flourishes, because that's what we're here for. We're here for each other. And, thanks for this video. This was really good. I really enjoyed it. And, yeah, it was a good video. Thanks for watching this video. If you like, please like and subscribe. My socials will be linked down below and at the end of this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.